Shalom. First and foremost, like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which are the true names of the Heavenly Father and of His Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who's a so-called black man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Thumb, to all the Akim out there that's pushing the truth and sincerity, while Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Thumb, to all the elders out there who labor in the truth and taught us the truth. And, yep. Yep, you see it on your screen. Joe Biden's gender discrimination order offers hope for young trans athletes. So basically, if you're in high school or in college and somebody identifies as a woman and they're really a man, they can play women's sports now. Joe Biden just came in office yesterday, and he already started with his wickedness, with this madness, which the scriptures let you know what days that we're in. We're in the days of Lot. And what happened in the days of Lot? We all know what happened. This is Luke the 17th chapter, and we're gonna read, let's see what verse it is. Luke 17 and verse 29. It says, but the same, matter of fact, start up at verse 27. Actually, I'm going to read verse 26. It says, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. Which, what happened in the days of Noah? Well, let's read it. This is Genesis, the 6th chapter, the 4th verse. It says, so like another 4th verse. Verse 5, it says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So you see that's what happened in the days of Noah. Because when you read down to verse 8, it says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. And us, the remnant, Lord willing, we're of the 144,000, 1/3. We are finding grace in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. That's why the Lord is sparing us. That's why the Lord is increasing us in knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and His strength and endurance. Because the Most High is having favor upon us. He's having mercy upon us. Us that are in the same spirit of Noah. Right? Because Noah was the only one that was in order around this time. Everybody else got completely eradicated through the flood. And another flood is coming, which that flood is dealing with the lake of fire. So let me read verse 5 again. This is in the days of Noah. We just read in verse 8. Noah was living in this time. This is the same generation, man. It says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. And man is talking about mankind in general. Man and woman. And it says that it was great in the earth. Now, that great is not talking about something good, like, oh man, that's great. No, that's talking about at a high level. Wickedness was at a high level since the earth began, since the earth was around. In the time of Noah, it was reaching its climax or its plight of wickedness. And that's what happens. That's what the Lord does. The Lord just let a certain kingdom continue on with their wickedness, and then slaps them down, just like what He's doing with Babylon the Great. And this ultimately is just adding on the sins of Babylon the Great, and it's just going to justify the Lord and destroying it. Right? And it says, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And we see that. Everybody's getting gunned down. Everybody's getting murdered. Right? Now we see this, what's going on with Sloppy Joe. Now we see what's going on here with Sloppy Joe. Look at this. This is a whole dude. This is a whole man. This is a whole man right here. I don't know about this person with this individual. This individual also look like a man too. Just look how this man is built. But now they can compete against girls. So now your girls. So now if you have a daughter, she don't even have a chance. Dude comes in, right? Daquan comes in, Terrence, and say that he want to play basketball, and he doing windmills on girls, blocking their shots, just driving to the rack, getting and ones, just breaking all types of records. How's that fair? I thought America is supposed to be equal and fair, right? How is that fair? Letting big bulky men who wants to identify as a woman play sports. That is just wicked. And that's why the Lord is going to destroy this place. It says, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. See, and this is grieving the Lord's heart. The Lord is very angry. That's why when he returns, it's going to be nothing but straight chaos. When the Most High brings judgment on this place, if you ain't right with the Heavenly Father, your judgment is going to be grievous. Scripture said that they shall die grievous deaths. And look who's here. Look who's here. Who is this? This is an Israelite. This is a Jake. So you know the Most High is going to get him. We know the Most High is going to judge him. Back to Luke 17, verse 27. It says, they did eat, they drank, they married wives. They were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot. And what happened in the days of Lot? Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, which we can go into that word for conversation is the Greek word anastrophe, which means their behavior, how they conducted themselves, which we're going to get that too. It says, they sowed, they planted, they builded, but the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. And I'll let you know how this place is going to go out by fire. Fire upon all the Batiman and all the Masissis. Which my sissy, all my Haitian brothers knows what that means. Right? So it says Joe Biden's first day in office delivered an incremental victory for transgender athletes. See, they calling this a victory. You see how prideful that is? You see how prideful that is? They're calling this a victory for transgender. It says transgender athletes seeking to participate as their identified gender in high school and college sports. So, like I said earlier, if you're transgender and you're seeking to and you saying, listen, you're a boy. So if you're transgender, what does that mean? You identify as a girl, because trans just simply means the opposite, right? Or a cross. So you're crossing over to something opposite, total opposite of you, of your natural state. So I don't feel like I'm a boy. I'm not going to compete. I'm going to act as a girl. They can do that now in high school and in college. It says, among the flurry of executive orders signed on Wednesday, Biden called on all federal agencies to enforce a U.S. Supreme Court decision from last year that expanded the definition of sex discrimination to include discrimination based on sexual orientation as well as gender. So like your identity. With language that explicitly referenced in the arena of high school and college sports. Which I want to go into that word for enforce. That's why this place got to be destroyed. Now, what it says? To drive by physical force. Strive to fortify. That's why. Let's get it. Revelation 13:11. It says, and I beheld another beast, which is America, coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb. Now, what is the characteristics of a lamb? Meek, humble, gentle, right? Kind, soft-hearted. And he spake as a dragon. What's a dragon? Dragon is tyrannical, vigorous. So Joe Biden enforced it. And what does the word enforce mean? To drive physical force, reinforce, make stronger, compel, exert force. So this man is speaking as a dragon by his actions. These scriptures are speaking. That's why I gotta get into the prophecies, which next to the law is the best part of the scriptures. You got two parts of the scriptures. You got the law, and you got the prophecies. The law and the prophecies. Oh, what it says? Meaning compel obedience to a law. Compel, which compel means force. Force obedience to a law. And if you don't want to lay down with the ideologies of this beast, which go back to the Roman Empire, what does that mean? You're going to be put to death, as they say. It's just all for violence, oppress, rape. Man, you cannot make this up, bro. You cannot make this up. Exit it out here. So, it says, children should be able to learn without worrying about whether they will be denied access to the restroom, the locker room, or school sports. Man, wickedness, bro. This is upright wickedness. And you should be vexed, man. You should be vexed. I'm really done with this article. All right, there's really nothing else for me to read. So now, I just want to get a few precepts. This is 2 Peter. Man. All right, boom. 2 Peter 2, and this is the spirit, because yesterday at camp, I was talking to a brother. I was talking to a brother, and I was asking him, how does he feel about the current state of this world, which I meant America. And he threw it back on me, and I said, it is none but wickedness going on. And I explained to him why, and he agreed. And the wickedness that I was touching on was trannies and homosexuals. And Lord and behold, the Lord manifested the wickedness. It says 2 Peter 2:6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. And like I said, we can go to the Greek word for conversation. It is the Greek word anastrophe, right? Which means what? Behavior. So he was vexed with how these people were behaving in Sodom and Gomorrah. See, manner of life, conduct, and their manner of life was what? Let's go to the book of Jude. I believe it's verse 7. Jude verse 7. It says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner giving themselves over to fornication. Now, what fornication is that talking about? Let's read it in a different translation. Right? It says, immorality and every kind of sexual perversion. Every kind. There was probably transgenders in Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, and it says, and going after strange flesh. Oh, Salaki, let me go back to the other translation. See what it says. See what NIV say. Okay, it says the same thing. CSB. Alright, it all says the same thing. But it's a strange flesh. Let me see what it says. Strange. It's a Greek word. Heteros.
Strong's G 2087. Heteros. Heteros.
Right, and it says altered, else, next, other thing, another flesh, not of the same nature, different kind of flesh. And what flesh would that be? Instead of going after the flesh that you should be going, which is, if you're a man, should be on woman and woman should be on man, you're doing man on man, woman on woman. So I'm done with that. So now I pulled up this video, and this video is called LGBT Emperors of Ancient Rome.
In ancient Greece and the Roman Empire, homosexual relationships were an accepted and common practice. In these hyper-masculine societies, the male form was revered for its physical perfection, while women's virtues were jealously guarded to ensure the legitimacy of children. In Greece, romantic and sometimes sexual relationships between older and younger men were seen as an initiation rite. The Romans modeled themselves after Greece in most things, but had strong feelings that a Roman citizen should always play the dominant, never submissive role in a homosexual relationship. Prominent citizens sought out enslaved men, prostitutes, and
So you get the gist of it. So this goes back to the Roman Empire, right? So boom. So now, real fast, let me start at Revelation 13:4 real fast. Right? It says, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. Now, the dragon is talking about the Roman Empire, the ancient pagan Roman Empire, which, and this beast, this first beast that it's talking about, is talking about the revised Roman Empire, the NATO and the EU, right? It says, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with them, right? Because the beast deadly wound was healed, going back to the ancient pagan Roman Empire. So the dragon gave power unto which the Roman Empire is the dragon, and the beast is dealing with the revised Roman Empire, right? So this beast is carrying out the ideologies, right, and the ways or life of the ancient Roman Empire, which this beast is headed by who? America, man. Right? So now, let me jump down to verse 11. It says, and I beheld another beast, which that other beast is talking about America, coming out of the earth, and had two horns like a lamb. And those two horns is dealing with what? The Democrats and also the Republicans, which goes back to the ancient Roman Empire, the plebeians and the patricians, right? And it says two horns like a lamb, because like I said earlier, America, which now is headed by Joe Biden, their mannerisms or their characteristics is what? It's like a lamb. Which a lamb is what? Meek, humble, right? Soft, spoken, things of that nature. Which America does things like that. And he spake as a dragon. What does it mean by spake as a dragon? Their actions shows forth something different. Because if you know anything about a dragon is tyrannical. Just look at the characteristics as a dragon. They're vigorous, right? Things of that nature. I just want to see what okay, Shalakia. I wanted to go into the word first. Spake. Just to see what it says. Out of curiosity. Okay, to utter, to preach, say, utter. And how is it uttering? Through use words and orders of everyone's minds. Alright, really through their legislations and their laws and things of that nature. But verse 12, it says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth which dwelled therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And how is this man doing this? Well, let's go into two words. First, I'm going to go into the word for exercising, because the he is dealing with the second beast. So the he is exercising all the power of the first beast before him, which is what? The which is the revised Roman Empire, which was the revised Roman Empire got its power from who? The dragon. Which the dragon is the ancient pagan Roman Empire. So watch this now. I want to go into that word exerciseth, right? And I want to play the Greek word. You want to get kick of this?
Strong's G 4160. Poieo. Poieo.
Poieo, right? And look what it says here. It says to produce, bear, to make one do something, to carry out, execute, to carry out, to execute. So the second beast, which is America, is carrying out or executing all the power of the first beast, which was before him. Now let's go into the word for power. You know, going into all these words, it may not be entertaining to some of you, but the scriptures talk about labor, and this is labor right here.
Strong's G 1849. Exousia. Exousia.
Exousia. Now, look what it says here. Power of choice. Liberty of doing as one pleases. And that's what America is all about. That do it thou wilt spirit. Liberty as one, liberty of doing as one pleases. Power of choice. So one of the ways that America is carrying out the power of the first beast, which is the revised Roman Empire, is allowing these people to do whatever the hell they want to do. Which is crazy. Because we all know in America, they got that do it thou wilt spirit. Do what you want to do. And that's the same thing that they had in ancient Rome. You saw the video. One of those other what's the word I'm looking for? In other words, what I'm trying to say, what else did ancient Rome do that America is doing? Having LGBTQ leaders. Because Joe Biden, transgender. Watch this. Rachel Levine could become first transgender official. Look at this. Look at this, man. Look at this disgusting thing. Look at that, man. Joe Biden nominated her as an official. An official is some type of leader. You're in a type of leadership position. And this is here, right here, in America, which a lot of you bugged out Hebrew Israelites want to stay here. He just did that. And back in ancient Rome, you had LGBTQ leaders. This is going to spread like a wildfire, man. That's why we need to get the hell up out of here. People talking about they're prepping for Passover and all that type of thing. Your mind isn't even in getting out of here, man. Your mind is to stay here and congregate and do all of this. Listen, I ain't trying to be here doing this forever, bro. I'm trying to go home. So then we can congregate all we want, nonstop. We're here to put in the work and to get up out of here, man. Try to hasten the day. Because this world is wicked as hell, man. Stop being complacent in this place. So let's read it again. It says, and he exerciseth all the power, which, like I said, exercises means to carry out, to execute all the power of the first beast before. And what's the power? I just went into it. It just said there in the Greek, right? What did it say in the Greek? It says liberty. Giving one's choice to do as he pleases. So that do what thou wilt spirit that the Roman Empire has. Or had. And you can see it here in America. Now, it's not limited to that. But it's one of them. Power of choice. Liberty of doing as one pleases. And that's what the Roman Empire had. The pagan Roman Empire. Let anybody do what they wanted to do. Have sexual orgies all the time. Party all the time. Shopping. All types of stuff. And here we are. Back in it again. So this is Ephesians 5 and 15. So be careful how you live. Right? Which in King James says walk circumspectly. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. So act like a wise person. Which a wise man. What does a wise man understands? Well, let's see. This is Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 5. It says, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. And we're in the time of judgment. And the time that we're in is evil. Biden didn't waste any time with his wickedness. As soon as he got nominated, man, he started signing all these orders. He's not playing around. It's Proverbs 22 and verse 3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So if you're prudent, you're going to foresee the evil. And shoot, me and people that's in the same spirit that I'm in foresaw all of this, man. Shoot, when Joe Biden had won the elections and we went to camp that day, all the damn Bati boys came out. Verse 16, Ephesians 5. Redeem the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Yeah, understand what the Lord wants you to do. And be not drunk with wine. Whether you always come home and cracking open a damn bottle, or being drunk off these other philosophies, we're in this excess, but be filled with the Spirit. Man. Hey, man, stay prayed up. Continue believing on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Shalom.